Tannis sword and the Zeratul sword. Yeah, a lot of Protoss, not a lot of Terran. I mean, Zergs have the Zergling and the Zergling Carbot. Carbot Zergling. Terrans, I guess I could have bought that battlecruiser, but I didn't even buy the Liara statue behind me. You might look at that and be like, ZombieGrub, how dare you spend $500 on the Liara statue and not $500 on the battlecruiser statue? I didn't buy the statue. Someone bought it for me. Some very, very generous soul. I think it was actually like $300, but still, a lot for sure. Yeah, it's actually it. It's the only Terran stuff I have. And then 2 signed autograph pins of Terran players, so hopefully that counts. In the top left of Lightshade for this game number 1 of the finals. I think it's the 71st Open Cup. It is Liquid Clem. In the bottom right as the red Terran, it is HeRoMaRinE. So HeRoMaRinE did recently win against Clem in the Warty Spring Championship groups. They won 2-1. The Ligulac actually has this out of order, surprisingly. It's the first time I've seen that. So that was a couple weeks ago. But then last week in the round of 4, Clem did 3-0 HeRoMaRinE. Or not last week. A few weeks ago at this point. A few weeks ago. And in like almost every single Open Cup. Yeah, so for the last 3 Open Cups, Clem has taken the victory, and very one-sidedly as well. It was back in February that HeRoMaRinE was able to take a 3-0 against Clem. Overall, very Clem favored on their history. Even though HeRoMaRinE's able to take him down every now and again, I still always feel like it's an easier choice to say Clem's gonna win. You guys can also predict stuff. There you go. Prediction. Gambling. Everyone loves a good gamble. Protoss overpowered even in merchandise. I know, right? They do have, I mean, some of the coolest effects in the StarCraft, though. Terran's got robots, I guess, but that's not as cute or flashy. Probably more expensive. I'm gonna need a source on that Don't Kill Teal. But I wouldn't be surprised, but I need a source. That's that's pretty funny. So 2 Hellion, 3 Reapers on either side, kind of meet awkwardly in the middle. Now it's all up to the Micro, who has a better concave. Both of them have a concave, but the focus fire was better there from HeRoMaRinE, I think is what happened. While Clem did not focus fire, it still kind of comes out even after the 2 tumbles there. And HeRoMaRinE's got a couple extra Marines, so it's no snowball effects. Like I said, TvT, factory expand. Yeah. Cyclone. Raven. Oh, Raven. Alright. Yep, all the same. I felt like TvT had a little more going for it. And maybe the first 5 minutes of it was always pretty similar. The 2 or 3 Raven opener has been popular for a long time. I thought at least the mid-game was getting interesting. The 2 Raven or 3 Raven, whatever. The tank push that would first happen could give someone a slight lead into continued presence on the map and battling 3cc versus 3cc while trying to get to their 4th base. But now it feels like the attack happens, and if no player loses, then it goes to 4cc almost immediately. And, I don't know, it hasn't been as action-packed as I would like. Perhaps this could change my mind. Clem is much faster to this 3rd CC. They had pretty much identical builds, but Clem's come out ahead by 1, maybe 2 workers every now and again. I guess the non-identical part of the build was the second Cyclone here from HeRoMaRinE, which can oftentimes be hard to find success. But killing the opponent's Cyclone is already a good start. And now still having 2 healthy Cyclones to catch a Raven going the wrong direction or a tank lagging behind can be very powerful. HeRoMaRiNE's 3rd CC. Well, that is quite late. Clem will probably be the first one to push out as well. He's definitely getting the first one to plant the CC down. Oops, Cyclones take a shot. So daisy. Engineering base faster for Clem. Stim is faster for Clem. HeRoMaRiNE's actually the first one to push out. So he'll push out while taking his 3rd CC. Hoping to punish Clem's 3rd CC, which is faster. So he might feel just obligated to do something, right? And Clem is going to, well, have a really easy time defending this since he's not caught awkwardly. He's not caught awkwardly on siege trying to go to the middle of the map as well. I don't think Clem is overrated. I think he's rated. Oh, the double lock-on almost grabs the tank. Lots of auto turrets coming down. It's the HeRoMaRinE coming out of this with 2 Ravens, however, and a push into the 3rd CC. 2 tanks left over for Clem are going to be enough to hold on, but 2 tanks from HeRoMaRiNE are much better situated. They're actually dealing damage, stopping the command center from mining, producing SCVs, dropping down mules. That was a decent push there from HeRoMaRiNE. For sure. In fact, it was... Right now, it feels a lot better. The Vikings will land, however, and kind of churn that around. Perhaps... Oh, that was close. He did put things a little bit better here for Clem's army supply, but HeRoMaRiNE is the one that got out of there with 2 Ravens, which are gaining energy and are going to provide auto turrets that are still going to be very helpful if Clem were to counter immediately, which it does not look like he's going to do. Both of them have stim, but Clem is faster to the 1-1, and he's faster to combat shields. So HeRoMaRiNE's going to take a nice little like pat on his back, right, for having his 3rd CC down and mining and producing, where he interrupted Clem. So, like, great, your economy had a little bit of a boost there, but then he's going to struggle against the, perhaps, mid-game, when there's more Marines, and those upgrades are really going to matter. Right now, the upgrades aren't even done, and there's very few Marines, so... And Clem's already getting something done onto his opponent's 3rd, feeling a little cautious after losing the air battle, however, and knowing that his opponent's Ravens are still alive. He's going to pull back, a nice safe choice. HeRoMaRiNE still not remembering combat shields. There it is, there it is. Checks back on his home base, starts up combat shields, get his reactors. Starts up his armory as well, which Clem... This actually has been, I think, a consistent mistake. A little bit late to the armory. Could even lose his upgrade lead. He's trying to send out spotters, 4th CC on the way for both parties. HeRoMaRiNE supply blocked? Hello? Yeah, the upgrades have evened out. That's too bad. Clem certainly had like a 30-40 second lead. But HeRoMaRiNE's gonna be thankful for that. Starts up his 2-2 immediately. And has taken away what was Clem's lead. They'd even out on economies and armies. It was the upgrades that were looking more promising. Now it's even. Supplies are even. Positioning so far, no one favorable. HeRoMaRiNE scouts the little push up to the top right. It's at least going to delay the 4th CC, where Clem's 4th CC is already on the way. Sending SCVs even. If HeRoMaRiNE had a drop, right now hitting the 4th base would be so well timed, but he does not. So now HeRoMaRiNE's gonna have to try and defend his 4th base, being a little out of position initially. So the planetary, I mean, it won't actually be able to build, I don't think. That's a lot of interference matrix. That is 4 tanks taken down. And Clem not quite going to be backing away here. The Marine reinforcements just in time. The Vikings finally coming forward as Clem had 6. They just weren't on the front lines. And despite the 4 interference matrices, Clem comes out of that all right in supply. But HeRoMaRinE now can take his 4th base, no problem. Turns into a planetary, really even on that one. And still has just 2 Ravens alive. Which, you know, if this is going to be 4cc and maybe in a 5th and 6th and whatnot, then it's also going to be in additional starports. And having 2 Ravens already, it's actually really nice. Clem is starting up that 2nd starport, and I imagine a 3rd one. It's usually the good number to have, so HeRoMaRinE will do the same thing. And we might even see someone prioritize the ship weapons over vehicle. Not HeRoMaRinE. HeRoMaRinE goes for +2 vehicle. But there's the starports for him. Clem's drop is going to be well-timed. It's going to be able to cancel these, kill the SCVs, maybe even grab 2 tanks if he's really on top of it. But it looks like there's action in the middle of the map. So Clem not totally paying attention. Yeah, just like awkwardly. Yeah, that was so awkward. It wasn't really action in the middle anyways, just scouting. But if the medevacs had gone into the main as opposed to dropping on the edge of the main, they could have done much more. IMO. Right now, who's the best non-Korean Protoss? Still Showtime. Well, now Clem's on the defensive. But their army types are so similar. Army supply is similar. Upgrades are similar. It's not really going to be breaking your opponents. So now we're going to move on really into the air. HeRoMaRinE even taking down his own army to fill in more air. Second armory for HeRoMaRinE 2 is a good idea. Clem would probably want to do the same thing. More command centers for either side. Fusion cores to get into the Liberator range. Some drops. I mean, at least something, but kind of almost half-hearted. Really just, it was leftover. So. We're waiting. We're waiting on the Viking Wars. HeRoMaRinE is currently losing the Viking Wars. He's down by 5. That 1 Raven is not enough to make up for it. Anti-armor missile can make up for a lot in Marine versus Marine battles. Not really for Viking versus Viking. Yeah, so much. So it's a numbers game. HeRoMaRinE dedicates to 6 more Vikings, which should put him even with Clem. But Clem is already getting those Liberators, trying to get across the map and find his opponent just a little lacking on the numbers. Then he can fit in the Liberators at that right time, get a couple of tanks killed, force the unsiege, and hopefully snowball from there. There's the anti-armor missile, but it should just be more about the numbers, which HeRoMaRinE had just added on more Vikings. But they weren't there for the engagement. Now they come forward, but Clem comes out of the engagement with 6 Vikings to 6. He's gonna maybe even win this battle as well as he focus fires HeRoMaRinE's Vikings down, which means this Liberator is going to be queen. And this little drop here from HeRoMaRinE is cool and all, but it doesn't even actually kill the command center. If it did, didn't matter. Liberators force the siege up, try and deal with it. It always look awkward to see. But the front lines, HeRoMaRinE, he flubbed the Viking war. He didn't have enough. If he had waited for his reinforcing Vikings, it would have gone better, but then he also would have lost control of the 3rd CC. Well, now he's lost both the air battle and control of the 3rd CC. Wins it, as he has faster reinforcements. It was inevitable, but Clem still had a lot done in that push. He's now up 40 supply. as his bases are all back to mining. HeRoMaRiNE's not exactly on a terrible income, just less. That is mostly tanks. I can see why HeRoMaRiNE wants to drop on top of them. Clem starting some Liberator harassment, which the Business Hearts can't quite take down because Liberator range is already done. And, not high sec auto tracking isn't. It's not even a priority for either player. More expansions for Clem as he brings down to the bottom left. Maybe... Okay, fully committing to the top right push. There's this air army. His tanks... at this point, he might even be okay with them being cleaned up. That's a decent number of tanks, sure, but they're also keeping a lot of HeRoMaRiNE's focus in the bottom left, when really Clem's engagement at the top right's a bit scarier. So many tanks. Just both of them pretty much going to the mech. It's Tank Viking. Another anti-armor missile, just not looking as impressive as 4 extra Vikings. Well, Liberator gets the siege up. We'll start taking down some of the tanks. Oh, they're literally just out of range. Oh my god. So close, it's so far. Oh, and look at that. Woo! They trade out evenly in the Vikings, wow. Well, Clem is going to be cleaned up here. His tank's still far enough away that it's not really threatening anything, but I guess HeRoMaRiNE still not mining from the top right. It does feel like Clem's starting to circle in, you know? He's been circling for a while, looking for the roadkill. Now maybe he's found it. Now the question is HeRoMaRiNE playing dead, or is he actually dead? Repositioning of the tanks goes okay. Goes okay. Liberator comes forward for HeRoMaRiNE as well. And she is queen. Yes, Liberator queen. And the supply gap has been bridged a little bit. Both of them taking so many exchanges that they don't have any bank. And as such, keeping their mining going consistently, dealing with these Liberator harassments, it's gonna be pretty big. If someone thinks they're A-okay, things have been going swimmingly for the last few minutes, oh, it's just 20 SCVs not mining, that's fine. It could really quickly not be fine. Equal upgrades right now as well. That's something that Clem has been missing. What are the numbers for the Vikings? 19 for Clem, 15 for HeRoMaRiNE. So Clem should be winning this battle and actually going to be winning the game. HeRoMaRiNE tapping out as he was losing control of the situation. So it's a totally understandable tap out, but it's not really an explosive one, right? That was all about who was winning the tug of war of army. It's not even that Clem was really digging into production or economy. But if he did win that battle, then he was going to hit the economy, which would have killed HeRoMaRiNE. So HeRoMaRiNE just taps out, you know, 2 steps before you would if this was the Game 7 of the GSL Finals, but still correctly. Game 2 is quickly on the way, but that Game 1 was about 19 minutes long. Kind of have the feeling it was mostly Clem favored, but it was just, it's a slight favoring over a very long period of time. It's not one-sided at all. The top right of Oxide up 1. He is Liquid Clem. The bottom left, the Red Terran, it is Mal's HeRoMaRinE. I did not know that StarCraft did an April Fool's joke about having a... what is that called? Like, connect StarCraft. God, Wings of Liberty looks so stupid. So I assume they're both doing a factory expand. I actually wasn't even looking, I was all tab. Oh, look at that, factory expand. Oh, yeah. Last game, they both went for 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion. As such, they kind of awkwardly met in the middle, nothing happened. Could happen again here. It really could. I dare say that they could do the same exact thing for the next 5 minutes. It is Oxide, which for like 2 months was a very popular map for the 1 tank drop around here. And then people basically just started countering it right off the get-go, so it did no damage, and then people stopped doing it. StarCraft. I still love seeing people who attempt to do it. I mean, anything that just creates a little bit of chaos as well as control can make the player feel very good about the situation in TvT. When it comes to this level of TvT, though, it's, I mean, feeling confident is always a portion of doing well in any competition, but at this level, it's like, yeah, my tank drop can feel really good, but if I look at the technical breakdown, it wasn't that great, so it doesn't make up for the confidence doesn't make up for it. Where if you're like Diamond, then honestly, the confidence could probably make up for it. It just makes you feel really, really good about yourself. 2 Reapers get into the main as Clem's 2 Reapers are a little later. So you think Clem does less damage. Ooh! HeRoMaRinE missed micros, loses a Reaper. Now Clem can do more damage. Oh my god, some things are different. Clem about to grab the 6th SCV to even things up. There it is. 7, okay. Can he get an 8? Can he get an 8? He does. Not gonna escape though. So Clem takes not even a 2-worker lead. Kind of like a 1.5. Like they're both building the same amount. Oh yeah, it's 2 workers. Oh, now it's back to 1. Oh, HeRoMaRinE's gonna go for, oh. Gotta say, I haven't seen this do too well. I'm a hater. I'm a hater of this build. I think it has worked out more than once that I've seen, and yet I still feel like the only reason it does work out is because, oh, I don't know, the other player messes up a lot. Thank you, Pratcher SC, for the 20 bucks. Hi, ZG. Thanks for the casts. Thank you for the donation and the support. I want to say that's Preacher, but then it's Pratcher, so who knows? So the Cyclone upgrade, right? That means you're definitely gonna get more than 1 Cyclone, 3 actually, and then lock on to anything armored and absolutely destroy them. Since Clem has gone into a 2 Cyclone medevac opener, I do think HeRoMaRinE's potential to defend this is just like skyrocketed, but he has to be in position to defend it, so I take it back. The 2 Cyclones of HeRoMaRinE went to go guard against some type of push out and have missed the drop in the main. 2 Cyclones still beats out the 1 that HeRoMaRinE's is making, and HeRoMaRinE, I mean, you can't really do the same thing. You could try and go up to the natural, but almost guaranteed there's some amount of units. So Clem just grabs a couple of free 3 SCVs. gets the heck out of there. Or does he? Dun dun dun! Yeah, he will. This is seconds before Magfield Accelerator is done, and then Medevac Micro comes in to make this about as one-sided as it possibly could have been, and HeRoMaRinE just ain't feeling it. Doesn't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Climb with a 2-0. I'm not even sure what to say about that one. Was he gonna die? I don't think he's gonna die in the next 2 minutes. Was he behind? Sure, yeah, of course. But I don't think he was gonna die in the next 2 minutes. He was gonna struggle to defend, have to wait for a Viking. If he got a Viking, he wasn't getting his Raven counts. If he got a Raven, it could deny one drop and not the second or third or fourth. Figures that'll snowball into a better push from Clem, which then gets Clem the victory, so he just taps out again. GSL Game 7 Finals. Don't think you tap out there, but that's because you are stubbornly holding on to the hope that you'll win $40,000 or whatever it is for GSL. But it would be stubborn. You would die. So HeRoMaRinE, not one to play games. He plays a game for a living, but he's not one to play games. He taps out when he knows he's dead. So the third map will be 2,000 atmospheres. Clem's gonna be done before his dinner time. Actually, that's not possible. It's like 11 in France right now. He's gonna be done before his bedtime. I wonder what his parents are like thinking. Are they asking him to study? Are they just like, how much you make? What was that number? How much money? Oh no, you keep playing that video game. I don't know. If I was a parent of like a pro gamer, I guess I would try to be a very just like informed parent so that I know as much as possible. So I could become a guide, but then obviously I'm very open to the idea of esports, where a lot of people in the older generations are not. But then you know what's actually really freaky is that because Clem is so young, his parents are probably really young. I think there's at some point that shift in your mental vision, you know, where for a very long time you just kind of imagine parents being like your parents' age. So when you talk about someone else's parents, it's like, oh, they're like, you know, they look like this or they're that age. And then it starts to change a little bit when you start knowing parents, like your friends become parents, but you're like, okay, but still, like they're 30-year-old parents. I'm thinking about 60-year-old. And then at some point you're like, wait a minute. Clem's 18. His parents could have had him when they were like 23. Oh my God. They're really not that old. Because, you know, I just turned 30, so. My dad already had 3 kids by my age. And one of them was like 5 years old. 7 years old, actually. I think my dad had my brother. I think he was 24. Oh, Lord. Even the hypothetical freaks me out. I think we're gonna drop one of the observers here. Well, if that person could already drop. Well, it's not even that. They've already dropped. They've already crashed StarCraft. It's just StarCraft trying to find them right now. Oh no, Chicken Man. Oh, poor guy. Yeah, Rainer and Clem's parents are both supportive, but it's not like they're, you know, do whatever you want, we don't care, like going off to the hippie commune or something like that type of type of caring. Like, Rainer's mom will actually still, I guess, you know, treat him like a kid, because he's a kid. But she tries to be fair. But, you know, yeah, you can go to that party, but you're not old enough to drink, so don't drink. Well, yeah. Yes, Mom, whatever you say, Mom. Anywho, the, final game, potentially. 2,000 atmospheres, bottom left, Liquid Clem. Top right, HeRoMaRinE. So, you know, of course, in America, it's 21 for drinking age. But now in a lot of states, it's 21 for smoking as well. And not that I'm a smoker or anything. And, you know, I'm glad that people are turned... socially, it's kind of been, like, frowned upon. Like, I'm okay with that, as long as you don't go up to a smoker and judge them directly. But I am kind of just freaked out by the idea that they up the ages as opposed to lower the age of alcohol. Just not even because I drink alcohol and I don't smoke. Like, I guess that's something to do with it, but the whole history of why it is the way it is, you know? And the whole idea that, yeah, you can sacrifice your life for your country at 18, but not do anything anymore. You can't even get a pack of cigs on your way to enlistment. When I looked into the whole, like, the age of alcohol, and I'm still blown away. I've known this for like a year at this point, but I'm still blown away every time I think about the fact that it was only an 18 age limit for so long, like up until the 70s or 80s actually. Like, America, why you like this? That's my story to cover up a little bit of the time where they both build up their command centers. We actually had a different opener. Clem, gasp, awe, huh? One knocked expand. Wowzers. I like some of the European countries' laws about, like, you can even have a glass of wine at age 12 if you're drinking with your parents. Italian drinking age of 16. Do you think that every StarCraft 2 tournament happens in Italy? Because it don't. In fact, I don't actually know of any major tournaments that have happened in Italy. Has there been a premier tournament of StarCraft 2 in Italy? There's been one in Spain. Been a couple in Spain. Lots in France. Poland's pretty obvious. Germany, yes. UK? Actually, maybe not. there's multiple lands and there's like thriving communities, but like an actual like DreamHack or MLG or IEM. There probably was in the beginning days of StarCraft and I've just forgotten. Very similar openers. Raven to Raven. Cyclone though for Clem. HeRoMaRinE opting for a medevac. Should be sending something across the map. It is 6 Marines. Now I don't think this will do a lot of damage, but it's got to try. HeRoMaRinE ends up with just the build openers being down in economy. Oh, finding a brand new command center is a good find. Canceling it is maybe worth it. He's not gonna be able to do it. And there's a bunker at the natural. Only 1 Marine. These units could have dive bombed into the natural to grab 5 SCVs, but now it's probably too late. I don't really, it's not like I like the smell of smoke, but never been like really all that bothered by it. I think if I was stuck in an airplane in the 50s, when everyone could smoke, I think then I'd be bothered by it, but since like everywhere requires you to have, you know, smoke outside, it's never really bothered me. Before everyone starts listing off the ages for alcohol, I was clearly talking about his mother giving him advice, say in America, where a lot of these events happen. Hopefully you could have inferred that as opposed to being, well, actually? Because some of y'all are being a well actually right now. His triple drop into the main is kind of feisty. 1 tank is set up, gets 2 shots off, but doesn't kill anything. Vikings come forward, might be able to push away the Raven at the very least, but Clem's already taken some damage. The SCVs have gone down. Chaos in the main. His own auto turret's not actually helping a whole lot. So 9 SCVs go down and a big stop on his economy. Doesn't quite lose that tank there. So HeRoMaRinE is eventually going to be cleaned up. He is. But it has taken a very long time. Clem just did not expect that drop into the main. He's finally cleaned it up with the auto turrets, with the Marines. SCVs can go back to mining. But HeRoMaRinE has taken a slight worker lead, a slight army lead, and does already have stim, although Clem's is finishing as we speak. But I think he also denied one of Clem's barracks, so it's supposed to be 3 barracks to 3. Oh no, it's actually 2 barracks for HeRoMaRinE as well. Look at that. But I think there was a 3rd barracks building, or intended to be built, because there's a bear reactor, so yeah. HeRoMaRinE is the first one to add on +1 at combat shields, where Clem is still kind of reeling from that, trying to fix everything, get his hotkeys back under control. His gas intake actually might have been the biggest problem there, as they do want a fair bit of gas to build the tanks, medevacs, and upgrades. Another drop into the natural is going to grab quite a few SCVs. Maybe some of these supply depots. Clem just once again found completely out of position. Not expecting such a urgency in drops here. This one was far less effective, however. Only 3 SCVs died, and it was cleaned up super quickly. So HeRoMaRinE does dip down below in the supply, but Clem still has not started combat shields, and that is worrying. There's combat shields. Almost an entire upgrade behind HeRoMaRinE, though, so if Clem did try to push out in some revenge, thinking, okay, maybe I clean up enough to take control of the map, the Marines would be so much better for HeRoMaRinE. So much. HeRoMaRinE's trying to get away with a 4th base on location. Clem sending a simple drop there could interrupt it, but he doesn't know about it. He's not sending it. He's trying to set up for his one big push, which is headed to the north. That could still stop this 4th CC if it gets there lickety-split as soon as possible. HeRoMaRinE sees the move out with the Xel'Naga. This is like the only map with the Xel'Naga too. He's gonna try and reposition, but it might be a little bit too late. Tanks still aren't here, and Clem already is, but Clem not scanning ahead. Okay, there's the scan. And, oh, there's another scan, actually. Clem, does he have enough back at home? Doesn't look like it. Desperately bringing his tank up to the high ground. Gonna have to give up his natural. And all he's taking down is the 4th. Clem needs to clean up these Marines. Oh, he doesn't save his natural command center. Clem down to 2 bases against HeRoMaRiNE's 4. If he can't take this planetary down, actually, it's just a command center trying to get the heck out of there, which it looks like it will successfully do. Clem is all in at this point, and it's not looking so good for him. The only upgrade advantage he has is a 1 armor. That's it. Lost his SCVs. He doesn't get into HeRoMaRiNE's production very quickly, or HeRoMaRiNE's really important economy. That 4th CC was just like an added cherry on top. Clem needs to get into the heart of the ice cream, or he's gonna lose the game. It's a matter of time. Quadruple drop is a bit dangerous. It almost ran into Marines. Oh my god. If HeRoMaRiNE hadn't unloaded right then and there, that could have been a way in for Clem. Oh my god. Oh, that timing was so close. But Clem's gonna instead lose the tanks, lose his natural command center once again, and maybe tap out now. I mean, he'll clear this drop up, sure, but his entire army had to pull back forward. He didn't kill the 4th CC. He knows he's dead. Not even a drop, just 2 Marines. Clem's on the defensive when he absolutely needs to be on the offensive, doing damage. The defensive fight isn't terrible. All of his tanks were sieged up. HeRoMaRiNE just lets a good chunk of his Marines die, but it's okay. It's all right. Clem's made some pretty serious comebacks before, and HeRoMaRiNE has let some pretty serious comebacks happen to him before. Is this really going to be one of them? Only if he had lost those 4 medevacs. This is going to be taken care of at least, but HeRoMaRiNE's now up 70 supply. 30 of it is in army. Make that 40, make that 50 as Clem's Marines just go every which way. GG. Not a clean sweep. If the positions were swapped, HeRoMaRiNE would have tapped out? Yes. 100%. Yep. Game 4 will be on Romanticide. HeRoMaRinE going for some more aggressive tactics worked out last game. I mean, especially the first drop into the main, but that wasn't really like game deciding. That wasn't just no coming back from that. It was a pain. But Clem, that's the point where Clem has made, you know, comebacks before, for sure. It was just the, so it was the drop in the natural that wasn't too bad. It was the pseudo base race that turned really bad. So will HeRoMaRinE try and be aggressive again? Or was it Clem who's going to do that thing where he's like, you tried that versus me? I'm going to do that versus you. The bottom right, it is HeRoMaRinE. Top left, it is Clem. No early rack shenanigans. It's too bad. Clem did get away with the 1-racks expands for the most part. Just that drop. Didn't know about it. Didn't miss Vikings in the right position. He is going to try that 1-racks expand again. HeRoMaRinE goes very quickly into the second gas. So there's the factory expand versus the command center. So Clem is at least breaking the mold a little bit. It was like a 50-50 split on the whole 1-racks versus factory. But then it turned into like an 80-20 split. So Clem's kind of filling the 20 right now. There's still so much more of the factory expand lately. A little bit of a check around for the 2-racks. If it was hitting, it hit pretty hard. So Clem is gonna be fortunately not gonna find anything like that. Starport's where things are going to get interesting. The starport is coming out a lot faster for Clem. Why is... Okay, there we go.
Resubscription received. Apparently you are doing something right, Captain.
Thank you, Epi35, for the 72. That's a long time. Thank you for the 72 months. On a 72-month win streak. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. It's very impressive. Is HeRoMaRinE the best TvTer in the world? Nope. Definitely not. It's good, but definitely not. Clem, there it is. Yes. Be the difference in TvT. Hellion Marauder. He likes this little cheeky attack. It's not even really all in. Like, I've seen it with Clem. I've seen it just completely do nothing. And yet he still manages to make it look like it was not a big deal. But at the best case scenario, this could actually kill a Terran player. Does this kill HeRoMaRinE? No, probably not. No, but it does depend on where his defenses are in regards to where Clem is actually pushing in. HeRoMaRinE's not going to scout this. The Hellion misses it. Nope, gonna miss it. Marauder, though. Ooh, the medevac's gonna get tech. Okay, yeah, Marauder gets unloaded, But the medevac gets tagged and shot down by the Marines on the low ground, and that is a bummer. That is a bummer. Ooh, Cyclone, no Cyclone. That's what you want. That's what you want. That's what the point of the Marauder Slow is. At least he grabs the Cyclone. But that really sucks the medevac died, because the medevac isn't just there for healing. It's like, I actually think that as far as it healing those Marauders, it's like, that's okay. It's the fact that Clem could pick up any amount of units and then continue getting little bits of damage done. Be a real thorn in HeRoMaRiNE's side. By taking out that medevac, HeRoMaRiNE just made the game so much nicer for the next 2 minutes. So, like I was saying before the engagement happened, Clem could just totally do nothing with it and still look okay. In this case, he did something. He did trade out with the army. He did get the Cyclone. That's okay. The workers are still fine. The army's still fine. The technology is even okay. Now, the Ravens are the biggest difference. HeRoMaRiNE already having a second one and going into a third. But Clem's going to have faster Marine production and faster stim because he's actually not just skipping a bunch of Ravens, he's also dedicating to 2 base for a while longer. So he's not really going to be... He has to stop with the aggression because the medevac died. But if this was perfect game for Clem, his medevac will be alive, touching down, leaving, touching down, leaving. And he'd be setting up for a swifter 2 base follow-up than perhaps HeRoMaRiNE would be prepared for, especially if HeRoMaRiNE is busy swatting away flies. His scan's really nice for HeRoMaRiNE. Sees the 2 barracks already done. Doesn't really have to see the 3rd command center to know that this is a 3 racks before command center. Just the easiest thing to do is compare it to your own build order. Just look at your own home base and be like, oh, my 3rd's already done. My barracks are on the way. And with that information, HeRoMaRiNE should be playing a little bit more defensive. Maybe a bit faster into sag defense, like a center tower at the 3rd ASAP as opposed to 30 seconds after. The Ravens might not really add a whole lot to dealing with the amount of Marines that Clem has, so I guess I don't mind using them for the harassment. Seems a bit ballsy. That is going to be a lot of auto turrets, though. This is the trickiness of it. HeRoMaRiNE wants his 3rd, but he might not be able to get it as soon as he would like, since Clem is the aggressor. Auto turrets in the main are nicely positioned so that, yeah, the SCVs have to be pulled back, then they're trapped. So a lot of SCVs will be going down here. Still more energy on these Ravens, and Clem is not paying attention back at home. He's doing a big old drop into the natural of HeRoMaRiNE, but maybe this will be worth it. HeRoMaRiNE was not quite set up for this. Doesn't even trade out one of the tanks. Oh, and then Lift always takes too close, and auto turrets came down anyways. The natural base will have to be lifted, and this is a lot more damage than the auto turrets did to Clem's main base. And the SCV loss is not as much, but the natural command center being lifted, both upgrades being denied. This is absolutely huge. Clem is still losing SCVs, to be fair. And even a couple more, perhaps. But he is completely denying the natural of his opponent, and he's about to hit the 3rd CC as well, which isn't even mining. It's producing, but not mining. HeRoMaRiNE's trying to clean this up. He still has a 12-worker lead, but he's down 20 army supply, and that SCV lead is about to disappear as they are pulled into the tanks, into the Marines. They're going to get slaughtered. Good focus fire from Clem as well on top of the Vikings. Takes them all down, and that might just be it. HeRoMaRiNE is probably feeling it. He knows he was supposed to break that, or he was going to be broken himself, but this little push here, I think, is going to force the tap out. Last game. So I guess HeRoMaRiNE's going to stick in for a little while longer, but he is pretty dead. Oh, he's so dead if 3rd CC dies. Oh, he's so dead. So dead. 100% dead. Auto turrets can't make up for that. Oh, they're going to try, though. They're going to try. Save the Ravens. Save the world. Drop still in the natural. Looking to jump on top of a tank that is undefended. Oh, no. Oh, whoa. Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Marines in the main. Marines in the main. Viking taking out one of the weak medevacs. Going after the 2nd one. Auto turrets could also perhaps help take down a 3rd one. Or not. That's fine. Clem could just join up with the other army. Continue pushing into the natural. Clem, of course, has a 1-1 upgrade lead since he denied HeRoMaRinEs. And while he is once again a bit late to his armory, he's going to guaranteed have faster 2-2. Combat shield's a little late for Clem as well. You got the faster stim by far, but unless the Ravens targeted the tech lab, I think this might have just been a mistake. And that is maybe the only thing keeping HeRoMaRinE in this game, is that he has combat shields actually as I speak. And Clem does not. Clem also does not have a lot of reinforcements here. He's got a couple units defending the auto turret harassment. Gotta do a heck of a lot more than this. I mean, honestly, HeRoMaRinE has to kill a base to make up for what has happened. This is a nice find. Clem should have left a while ago. And at least escape with his Marines and his medevac. But HeRoMaRinE's now, he's still got that sweet spot where the drastic income difference hasn't made a drastic supply difference. He still has a shot. And he's actually even up 20 army supplies. So he still has a shot. He's even up the upgrades. Maybe HeRoMaRinE could make this work. Clem's auto turret harassment could find a couple more SCVs. He's got a drop that could go into the main base, but can Clem defend back at home? With 4 tanks, I think he's okay. Now that's 3 Ravens. That's scary. HeRoMaRinE looking to attack the same vulnerable location that Clem did, which includes the vulnerable engineering base again. Oh, the army's coming back. I don't know if that's on purpose. I think it is. Yeah, it is on purpose. He's going for a surround. Interference which would come down from the Ravens, but the tanks of HeRoMaRinE were kind of firing every which way. It looks like HeRoMaRinE's starting to dig in. He does grab the 2 tanks, their interference matrix, at the last possible second. Picks up, consolidates his army. He's down to 2 tanks, and the Ravens are mostly out of energy, but 1 more interference matrix. A tank is actually going to siege up for Clem, and he's got the high ground concave, so it looks like this might not be good enough. HeRoMaRinE almost had a chance here, but he needs to do more. He needs to actually push through and then push into a base, which he's just barely shy of doing. The SCVs are pulled into this, and they are going to help hold. It is so damn close. So damn close that HeRoMaRinE's not going to tap out. Even as it's just kind of an ant trail to the middle of the map reinforcing, and Clem's obviously going to have faster reinforcements. Clem still is not out of the woods. If HeRoMaRinE could do like a big drop into the main or something. Clem's even double checking like, oh, did you take another base? Did I miss something? Like, are you really dead? He really is. He really is. If HeRoMaRinE could get a good drop into the main, that might change things up, but no longer will a direct attack work. He doesn't have the interference matrices, and he doesn't have an upgrade even situation anymore. 2-2's finishing for Clem. There's the drop into the main. No, drop on top of the 3rd, which is also going to find a 5th. That was a 5th, guys. So this 3rd being lifted is not the biggest of deals, unless Clem tries to defend it and then miscalculates. Is he going to miscalculate? Is this actually an engagement he wants to take? Pulling the SCVs once again. He wants to just get HeRoMaRinE the heck out of this game. So he's going to give up 20 SCVs to try and do it, but he actually doesn't break HeRoMaRinE. Oh, but it doesn't matter. HeRoMaRinE just... that was a really good attempt to bring this game back. Really good. And the supplies are still even as he tapped out, but... yeah...